5 minutes after 9 o'clock, Friday morning, there's that song, Blinded Me with Science, and that means Jim George is somewhere around. He's right here in the studio. He's the owner of American Cable Services, and Robin, before we went on the air, he said that he's going to bring in a TV for me to have fun with.
Oh, wow.
An internet TV. I can't wait to see this, because I have the internet, and I don't want to pay anymore. I just think I pay too much for the internet, and once upon a time when we were kids, we were talking about this morning, Jim. But good morning, Jim, first of all.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine.
Good. We were talking about this morning. When we were kids, you had a TV, that was an expense. You had the antenna, that was an expense, and then you were done.
You were done.
There was no more monthly payment, nothing. Nobody. It was even unfathomable that one day we'd have to have a monthly payment to continue getting TV.
Exactly.
So.
And there's new standards coming out for TV broadcasting, and it's called ATSC. Don't ask me what it stands for. I don't know. But what it is, it's totally different than what's been in the future, in the past. So if you have a digital TV and you have an antenna that you put on your house and you're watching 20 or 30 channels free because they're in an old format, the present format, within 2 or 3 years, that format will go away and you'll just have to buy another converter. So if you think about it, you're going back to the days when you had a converter on top of your TV to watch TV. You know, it used to be you could just change the channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, and then UHF came out, and if you did not have a UHF tuner, you would have to get a UHF to VHF converter.
Right. Oh, okay. So I never knew that.
Yeah, and so now you're going to have a box that will allow you to pick up the new standard, but the new standard will allow 4K. And 4K is 4 times more pixels than 1080.
Wow.
So that's how bright and brilliant it's going to be.
So this new device that Amazon is releasing, have you heard about this? Mm-hmm. It's 3D.
Yep.
Did you read how they accomplished the 3D effect?
No, I did not.
Okay, let me tell you what it said. Now I'm going to tell you what I think it said because I'm not reading it here. It's got technology. This is not official because Amazon hasn't even released a thing yet, but this is what those who believe they know it say. The device can track your individual eyes and send to your individual eyes, without the use of eyeglasses or any kind of special glasses, send to each eye a different picture, giving you the sensation of a 3D picture.
I'm not sure I'm welcoming that.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I would feel woozy.
It would.
Well, I don't know if you'll feel it. I mean, but you're looking at something.
So multiple people in the room, they would each get their own individual picture.
Oh, good question. Wow. Yeah, that's a good question. How would they do multiple
Did you
people?
see that? No, I didn't see that.
I saw it in one eye, but the other guy saw it in something else.
And how about a person that only has one eye, or a person that has, or stigmatism?
I know a one-eyed guy, we had this discussion once before with anything 3D, whether it was a ViewMaster or those funny pictures that you have to cross your eyes to see something. And he can't, of course, see any of it.
Well, yesterday
he can see it, but I mean not in 3D.
Yeah.
Yesterday we demoed our new box for ourselves. Just came in, and it has a 3D movie streaming from California to us, so we can test it.
Wow.
And so we looked at 3D.
Did you have to wear glasses?
We wore the glasses.
Okay.
Very interesting. The glasses are relatively expensive. They're not like the Google ones, which are like $2,000. They're about $100, but it's got a battery inside, and so you push it on. So you put the glasses on, and you click on, and then the picture that looks blurry because it's in 3D comes in 3D. And wow, we watched the Avatar movie, and man, it was unbelievable.
Really?
When those little things are falling from the tree and everything, you see them all in dimensions falling, and it was unbelievable. And that's so we will be able to offer 3D with our box.
So we can get that with you, and then you'll give us we'll rent the glasses or buy the glasses.
Well, the glasses, I'm not really positive how we're going to advance. I'm probably certain that an inexpensive paper glass that you get in a 3D movie will work. They just happened to send these glasses with the box and said, try this.
But they're $200?
They're about $100.
$100.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay. This is a call-in show, so if you have something you want to call in about, whether it's a question or you just want to contribute to the conversation, the number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. Jim George is the answer man here today. Don't ask Robin and I anything. We don't know anything. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim George.
Good morning, Mr. George. I was going to ask you some questions, but you keep telling us that technology is changing so fast. I feel that it'd be a waste of time to ask these questions. Basically, the other thing I want to say is I myself and many of the people I know are just so sick and tired of all this new stuff. You just about get used to your regular cell phone. You got these iPhones and everything else, and you need 1,000 different passwords for everything.
True.
We're just sticking with what we got and let the world go on. And there's more and more of us out there that are saying this.
I agree. I agree. Yeah,
No,
my wife and children are getting all the newest and latest and greatest cell phones, and I myself, I want the oldest phone there is. I tell them it's a phone. If you want me, call me. Don't text me. Don't email me. Don't Facebook me. Call me.
That's what I've been saying. But the thing is, it's I got enough things to worry about. I don't have to add something more to my life. And then every time you turn around, there's some kind of fraud in somebody's accounts one way or the other are being hacked and whatever. What do I need this for? I don't need all this aggravation. I don't need that. I'm lucky I can remember the one or two passwords that I got. Never mind another 20 or 30 for
Exactly.
all these different gimmicks that are coming out.
Right.
And to me, it's nothing like the good old stuff. I still got my dwell and tack meter, and I still have my vacuum gauge and all that other good stuff. So when the EMP bomb goes off, I still be able to get around.
That's right.
Anyway,
Thank you.
Great day. Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you, WOCA. Terrific programming.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, Ronnie got a new iPhone, I think the number 5, and he had just the regular flip phone for like 12 years.
Right.
And the guy at the phone company laughed at him because he said, "What is that?" but and then it took him a couple of days to get everything organized where he understands it. But now, when we get your service, will he be able to interface his phone with
Yes.
with your service, so wherever he's at, he can watch what you're offering?
Exactly. Yeah, he could theoretically be in his home and be watching, let's say, the Avatar movie. Needs to go out, so he'll transfer it to his Galaxy 5, let's say, his cell phone. And then if he goes over to another person's house and they say, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm watching the Avatar." They could say, "Oh," and they turn on their large screen and he transfers it there. So now
Really?
it's on that one.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Because there's TV everywhere.
That is so cool.
And if a phone call comes in, he can still answer the phone, and the movie's still playing on the TV.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
wow.
The technology, it's
So is all of these buy-ups that we keep hearing about this is kind of a speculative question, but do you think that what they're doing is trying to create these huge monopolies, or what would you call when there's more than one, a biopoly?
well, yeah, it's definitely a monopoly. I mean, they're trying to dominate a certain segment of the market, whether it be yogurt or whether it be, whatever. They want to have that majority share. And when they do, people are loyal. Unless you really mess them up, people stay with what they've got. So
Wow.
Yeah.
if you're the leader, they're going to stay with
But I
the
can
leader.
still get the free TV with the antenna you told me about, right?
Yes.
And is that going to go away in 2 years or whatever?
It won't go away necessarily. You'll have to have a converter box, too. That's all.
All right. Good morning. You're on there with Jim.
Yes, good morning, Jim and everybody.
Hey.
See, with your system that you're selling, do you need a box for every TV?
You do.
And what is the cost for a box?
Right now, we think the cost is going to be somewhere around $65, and it's a one-time cost Or
Okay.
what we prefer to do is lease it to you, and I'll explain that. The reason why is, sure, it's monthly reoccurring revenue for us, and that's how usually a person on the outside looks at it. But we're on our third generation box now. If you were a customer and you had our second generation and we went to our third generation box, we just change it out. And then you'd have, the latest, stuff. If you bought the box, then you'd have to, sell that box or give it to a friend and then buy a new box. So it's almost like the cell phone industry. As they keep getting more and more applications and more features, you have an option. Stick with what you have because it works. Why fix what isn't broken?
Right.
And then, or get the latest.
Do you have to wire from each box to each box, or is that sent through the air? Or?
We have a wireless box and we have a hardwired box. The wireless box is a little bit more. It's more like $80. But what it is if you have a wireless Wi-Fi like Larry does in his home, and the TV is way far away from the modem, which means he'd have to run a wire over there, he can still just put the wireless box right near the TV, and it will plug into the TV.
Now, you get your reception, all your programming, what, is that through the telephone line, or it's not through the cable wire anymore, or the satellite dish?
It comes through the internet, and you can get internet either through like CenturyLink, which would be your telephone line, or you get it through the TV, which would be like Comcast or Cox.
Okay.
Or you
we
can get it
have
like Doug
Cox,
wirelessly.
right now, which would be all right that way. I was going to... Did I say something funny?
Well, it's an internal joke.
Oh, okay. See, I walk my dogs through my subdivision and way down on the other end, a guy put up a TV antenna.
Yes.
Which is, you just don't see those anymore. What is he going to? All he's going to do is get the Orlando 3 stations, and that's it.
Oh no, he's going to get about 8 to 10 channels, and each channel will have about 4 channels inside of it. So he'll get about 40 channels.
Okay, now those come high definition?
They do.
They do.
That's what I've been telling Larry. Larry could put up an antenna that may cost, from Radio Shack or Walmart or someplace probably $40, and probably watch 40 channels free, all in high def.
He's not paying a fee to anybody either. I mean, it's free, right?
It's free.
I'll be darned. I'm surprised more people don't do that.
And you don't have to go very high because, you either are going to get it or you are not. Now, if you have a ton of trees around your house, then yes, you probably want to get above the tree line or at least get in the middle of the tree line. But
is it hard? Is it hard to find a TV antenna anywhere now because they're so kind of outdated?
No, you can. Matter of fact, flea markets sell them. Markets of Marion, there's a guy selling them there for about $45. Radio Shack sells them. I think even Sears and Walmart sell them.
Would you advise buying maybe a more expensive one for some reason rather than maybe the cheapest one?
Well, the more expensive ones just have a preamp built in, so if the signal's kind of far away, it helps boost it. The only problem with that is the close channels will overdrive that preamp. They'll be too strong. So no, I just say put up an inexpensive antenna and see what you get.
Okay. Would you need a rotor with that antenna, or you just point it one way towards from here the southeast towards Orlando?
It would be good to have a rotor, only because there are some channels coming out of Gainesville, about 4. And then there are like 6 to 8 coming out of Orlando. So you could turn the antenna.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So the only problem with an antenna for TV is that you can't use an antenna for the internet. And so if you want the internet, you still have to pay for that, like I do.
Yes.
Now, you told us before we went on the air you're going to bring in a TV that I'll be able to control that is actually getting the picture from the internet somehow.
From the internet. Well,
okay.
Because you have a switch here, and we'll take a port off your switch and plug it into the box.
Do I have that at home too? Or is that something special for the radio station?
When you have your wireless device in your home, you have you have a router built into that wireless device.
Right.
And there's like 2 ports or 4 ports.
Okay.
Just one of those ports will feed it.
Oh, okay. And that's a wire that goes to the TV?
Yeah, an HDMI.
But it's a wire, not wireless.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Very
Okay.
simple.
So then I wouldn't, if I didn't want to put up an antenna, I could get internet TV somehow.
Yes. Yeah, we're not quite launched yet. We wanted to do it July 4th. We were beating the.
Oh, we get it from you.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. You guys.
Yeah, we would give you the box.
So you'll be set up for the whole world.
almost.
Wow. Cool.
You're going to get a new car. Now, how much do I pay you for that? How much would that be?
We're going to have different tiers. We want to make everything a la carte, but we want to make the off the airs a have to take, a bulk, call it. So when you get the box, and let's assume you rent the box for $9. Well, you may be renting the box for $9, but you're getting 40 channels of ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, ION, and maybe even a couple of satellite channels thrown in, like the Weather Channel, CNN, and maybe Fox News.
Okay.
So basically, that's all you probably want.
Okay.
But if you wanted one particular more channel, like you wanted Disney,
Right.
then you could add that one channel of Disney into it.
Wow, I'm getting this.
Disney.
This is excellent.
Look, I want something a little more adult than that.
History Channel.
Okay, we'll give you C-SPAN.
We've got another phone call. Good morning. You're on there with Jim George. I love
Good
Disney.
morning. This is Tony again. You talk about all this technology and how you can get it on your whatever gimmick you carry around with you. And we were in a restaurant the other day, and it was amazing. 4 people at a table nearby. Each one of them had their own device in front of their hands, and their heads are all down. I mean, why did they go out, together? Why didn't they just go individually or something? If they're going to ignore each other, rather than, I guess, carry on a conversation and enjoy each other's company. I just cannot comprehend how our society's going. You're talking to somebody and their stupid phone goes off, and that person they were talking to disappears. and the iPhone or whatever the heck it is takes control.
Yep.
Right.
And I honestly think that's not a good thing.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Think
for you.
about this one.
Thank you.
What happens to the day when we run out of batteries? Anyway, have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Go to Battery Park and get some new ones.
Yeah.
That's what I always do.
Yep.
You have an article in, what is it, Innovations
It's
magazine?
in Innovations magazine. Yeah, they wrote an article. They had us print an article for them, talking a little bit about the company and when it plans to launch and those kind of things. And we get people upset with us because we promised this date and then we miss it and we promised that date. But like I'm trying to explain, the technology is changing so fast that by the time you think you have a handle on a real easy delivery method, another easier delivery method comes out. But that easier method, although it's smaller and more compact and more easier, costs twice as much. And so you ask yourself, should I stop where I'm at, and that's the technology that I'll use, or should I buy the newest, latest, and greatest? And in our case, we're going to stop where we're at. So that's why we've been promising July 4th, but it's going to be more like August before we're ready.
Oh, okay.
There's still some parts we have to order. They're still 60 days out.
But when you bring in the TV in 2 weeks,
I have about 18 channels up and running.
but could any of us get those 18 channels?
And right now, you have to have our box to get it.
Okay,
And the reason is what the box does, it only serves one purpose. It's
But I mean, can I buy the box now? Or
you cannot buy the box now. We don't have
not.
that many of them. We only
Okay.
have like 6.
Oh, okay.
These are our test boxes. But what the box does is it looks at one IP address only, which is our server. And when it sees our server talks to it and says, it opens up the screen and says, welcome to Media in Motion and blah, blah. And then it says, click to enter. And you click to enter, and there you are. And then the electronic programming is there that talks about ABC, NBC. You click on what you want, and you get it.
Huh.
Done.
So when you do launch and everybody has your service and the boxes and everything, then down the road when technology is advancing, you can maybe issue updates and things with different boxes?
Right now we're going to stick with we have a 4-core box and we have a 6-core box. And that's what I was saying about technology. The 4-core box is somewhere around $60, $65, and the 6-core box is like $100. And you have to ask yourself, sure, it's got all the latest and greatest technology, but do you want to have a customer that has to buy a $100 box? And also, if you're going to lease it, what do you have to lease it for in order to get your money back within a reasonable period of time? So we're thinking we're going to stick with the 4-core box and only keep the 6-core box for people who say, I need the added features. And what are the added features? Well, you could have a USB port in it where you can put your own thumb drive. So now when you record a movie, sure, you're recording in the cloud, on the internet, but you can also record it on your USB thumb drive.
Oh, okay.
What good is that? Well, you take that USB thumb drive with you when you go on vacation, and let's assume you recorded 60 movies. Now you're in a hotel room, you put it into your computer, and you watch that movie that you recorded.
Okay. Well, I think the 4-core is good for me, though. I don't need to.
Yeah, yes. A lot of people don't need all the little extra whistles and bells. Remember, we're in an area right now where technology is moving us. We're not moving technology. In other words, it's not like there's a need and someone invents something to satisfy the need. It's where someone invents something and then tells you got to have this.
I've always thought, I do not have an expensive cell phone. I have a track phone.
Right.
And that track phone, I can pay $10 if I want, and as long as I don't use it, I've got about an hour on my phone at any given time. Okay.
Me too.
Now that's the way I think TV should be. You pay $10 and you have an hour worth, or no, maybe more than an hour, I guess, on TV. But I mean, couldn't you just get a card, like a track phone card, Track TV?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, right now, if you think about how much we pay for cell phones, large amount, right? Probably $100 a month or more, most people, right?
Yeah.
You think? How much you pay for cable TV? How much you pay for the internet? Those 3 things alone could be a house payment.
Yeah, if you were to ask some of your callers that call in all the time, Sonny, Hugh, or all the rest of them, Jim, the average price probably per month for TV and internet, and maybe phone, but just say TV and internet, it's probably $150. And if you add phone in there, you're anywhere between $250 or maybe $200. So $200. That's a lot of money. You're right. That could be a house payment. But some people can't live without it. They've been duped into thinking they have to have this.
But let's say I have a cell phone and I don't want to not have a cell phone, but I don't want that large price. There's a company called Track Phone. There's a couple of other. I think Walmart has one, whatever. But you pay for a small little amount, and once you use it, you're out of luck unless you buy another card.
Yes.
Is there such a thing for TV?
No, there's not. That's like the old hotel motel where you put the quarter in the bed and it shakes you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And they used to have hotel TV where you would put $1 or a quarter in the TV. This is going back, Sonny, remember this, where you put money in the box and the TV would come on. And after about 20 or 30 minutes, the TV would go off. You have to put more money in the box. But so could you create such a thing?
Yeah,
yes,
we need that.
You could, but and they do have cable cards, and these cable cards are addressable, and they would go into the box. And theoretically, yes, you could pay for 10 hours or 20 hours, and we could tell that card, which is like an EEPROM or a chip, hey, allow 10 hours. But what will happen right in the middle of a movie on Saturday night, it's liable to end, and then you're at the mercy of calling up the toll-free number and getting your credit card out, adding more time to it,
Yeah, but that's your responsibility. With the phone, that same thing happens. If all of a sudden, whoop, there it goes.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of a phone call.
There goes another telephone. All right.
But that's what's great about your service, because you're charging $1 per channel.
Right.
So that's it. Essentially the same thing, right?
Exactly.
Well, I can't wait for 2 weeks. So next week you're not going to be here?
Next week I'm going to be in Tampa in school. I go to school at least once a year for 5 days to keep my credentials.
All right. Now, usually when you're gone, you send us a pretty lady. Are you doing it?
I'm going to send my daughter probably overall.
Oh, all right. Yeah. What's her name?
Melissa.
Melissa. All right. I'll have to remember your daddy.
Yeah.
I'll have to behave myself.
No hitting on the hot chicks.
All right. We'll thank you, Jim. Always
you.
good. Always fun conversation. We'll take a little break. It's time for Horse Sense. This is the source, WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The men who stormed the beaches at Normandy remembered 70 years to the day.
These men waged war so that we might know peace. They sacrificed so that we might be free. They fought in hopes of a day when we'd no longer need to fight.
The president joined by perhaps a few hundred American D-Day veterans in their 80s and 90s back on the beaches they fought for.
Fox Radio Simon Owen in Normandy. The Russian president meeting informally for the first time with Ukraine's president-elect on the sidelines of the D-Day commemorations in France, on the sidelines of the G7.
Secretary of State John Kerry and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov admitted significant differences between Washington and Moscow could hurt efforts to prevent Ukraine from being a pawn.
Fox Radio's Jessica Gallher. And employers adding 217,000 jobs in May, with the market regaining all the jobs lost in the downturn. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. A woman tells us she's been going out in public disguised as a man, including a fake beard and mustache, because she wants an Odyssey putter from the Golfsmith Father's Day event. She's excited because any Odyssey purchase of $149 or more comes with a $25 gift card. She's also looking forward to much shorter lines at bathrooms. Get a $25 gift card with any Odyssey purchase of $149 or more at the Golfsmith Father's Day event. Anything for golf.